So I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time now, and I think we're at the point that we can actually do it. So before I get this video started, this isn't coffee, this is actually water. It's just something I used to put my coffee into all the time. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, why did I stop coffee? So I was drinking coffee religiously. I think I started drinking coffee, I'm gonna put a right date on it. I think it was probably 2015, maybe 2016. I can't honestly remember the exact date. I just know for almost 5 years, I've been like really on the coffee thing. Now, at first I was on the coffee where it had the creamer and the sugar, but that was like way back. But I stopped that and transitioned to, just straight black coffee. I was using coffee for pre-workout, just regular energy throughout the day and everything. And I was just your regular coffee guy. Like I would probably spend, I really like gas station coffee. I don't know why, but I really like getting my coffee from the gas station. And I was spending at one point like $60, maybe even $70 a month just on coffee alone. It's crazy. And when I finally got a coffee maker, I still would sometimes go to the gas station. So at that point, I went to maybe like $40 a month spent on coffee. But that's just a little background information for it. This is gonna be a little bit longer video, and if you're having trouble stopping drinking coffee, or if you're having trouble understanding why you're so hooked on coffee, well, you should stick around, because your attention span is one of the reasons that you have issues with coffee, because you're using it for things such as having the right attention span and focus. Make sense? All right, let's talk about my experience with this. So the first thing is with coffee, it gave me a lot of motivation. It made me feel like I had I could get a lot done in a certain time frame. I could make a lot more money, and it felt like also that I had an addiction. So let's talk about those things real quick. The first thing being motivation. What I noticed was when I was drinking the coffee so much was first, my motivation, it just wasn't really there unless I had that coffee. And even sometimes I would test this out and have some decaf coffee, and I would even still sometimes get the same effect just for the fact that I had some coffee. It's really weird. And that's one thing I didn't like about the coffee, was the fact that I was getting motivation from drinking it, which means that my natural energy, my natural me, I wasn't getting that unless I had a coffee in my system. And the second part was the time and money. Like, yeah, I have more energy, so I was getting a lot more done within a certain time frame, but then I would crash really bad. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And like I said, I just don't like the fact that my energy, my time, my efforts only came when I had that coffee in my system. And the last thing really that made me make the decision to get away from the coffee was the addiction, the addictive part of it. I didn't like the fact that even though it's not a drug, well, technically it is, even though it's not a drug that I was addicted to, I was so hooked on it that when I get up in the morning, I had like one of the first things like in my mind was like, oh man, I can't wait to get to my cup of coffee today. And I would even like delay it to like, I would get up really early, 4 something in the morning, get to work at 5, and then I would reward myself with coffee for being up so early and motivated. Even though the coffee in the back of my head was motivating me because I was going to get it at like 8 or 9 o'clock, I had programmed myself to just really motivate by getting to this coffee. So when I got the coffee, I would get another little boost of fake motivation. And I say fake because that caffeine is not internally made. I'll get another boost from that, and I just realized I was really addicted, and it would come to about like maybe 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then would just crash. And what I gotta do, I still got work to do, so I would drink a little bit more coffee, not a big serve, I would drink a little more coffee, get re-stimulated, and finish my day out, right? I was all messed up, and I realized this after I watched this video. His name is Alex Becker on YouTube. Check him out. He posted a video on this, and it really made me think about what coffee was doing to me. So I'll say this. Let's transition about since I've been off coffee, what's been happening to me and what I experienced first. So first off, when I started getting off the coffee, obviously there was some withdrawals. Okay, like I really was interested in coffee. I actually kind of quit cold turkey for the most part. So I started in like beginning of May. I can't remember. It was probably a little bit April, maybe May. I just can't remember exactly. I know in April I started doing coffee like once to twice a week, and then May I just stopped. Now I took two road trips in May, one for Mother's Day and one to go back home to Mississippi. And just because I like drinking coffee when I'm driving, I did get coffee on the road just so I could stay alert. So that was kind of more of a survival thing. I didn't want to fall asleep on the road. So we can count that. I'm going to count it. I don't really want to count it, but I'm going to count it. Other than that, I have not had any coffee really since the beginning of May. And let me tell you right now, I feel great. I feel way more awake now. And one of the second things I noticed, aside from the withdrawals, was I would crash a lot. Like I was sleeping so much, it was crazy. So I think this is my body trying to get back into my normal rhythm. But I was having like 7, 8 hour sleeps at night, and then I have like another 2 hours sleep in the middle of the day, and then I would go right back, turn around right back that same night and have another 8 hours sleep. Like it was just a vicious cycle. This literally went on for like 2 weeks. Seriously, 2 weeks. And I was like, if I'm sleeping this much, my body must have really been, had a dent in it from drinking so much coffee. And that was kind of another reason. It's like, okay, I don't think I want to go back. As much as I like the coffee and the taste and the heat, and I don't want to go back anymore. And the second part is low energy. So that first 2 weeks, kind of 3 weeks, the energy was really low, not gonna lie. And this was another thing that showed me, okay, the coffee was really giving me a lot of boost, a lot of energy, so I had to stop it. I'm getting cotton mouth. I had really low energy too when I was starting to get off of the coffee and everything. And I attested to the fact that I was addicted to the coffee, and a lot of my energy was coming from the coffee in the first place. It wasn't energy that I was just bringing out naturally from myself. This is something I realized. And this went on for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I feel better now. I feel naturally energized. Not really too many cons, but I think the withdrawals themselves have enough weight to really make you want to, try to quit another time. Luckily, I was able to overcome it. It was just a challenge I kind of gave to myself. Like, can I really quit this coffee? And I was able to quit it. I'll say after 30 days straight, minus those road trips, I feel great. Okay, so let's talk about some pros. Now that I haven't been on the coffee so much, I have way more sustained energy. Like I feel naturally energized. I can go longer with whatever I'm doing. It's not like the insane, like jittery, like moving coffee energy, but I can move and I don't get tired without having a coffee. I don't have that crutch of feeling I need the coffee to get done what I'm getting done, right? I took some notes here because a lot of stuff. I have a normalized focus, okay? So I can focus on a task now, and I'm not getting distracted as much, as long as I don't have like too many things going on, but I'm not getting distracted as much, right? I can focus on that thing. I can really zero in and not be sitting in the back, thinking in the back of my head this whole time, when am I gonna get my next hit of that coffee, or feeling like when I'm slipping under as far as energy, I can just take a step back and come back to it with the same kind of sustained energy and focus and continue going. So I have a lot more normalized focus. The next thing is, it's kind of weird, I can stay up late. So when I was on the coffee, oddly enough, I would crash. Like I could literally fall asleep anywhere. That was like my superpower. I could just like rock back in the chair and just doze off. But now I can stay up for a way longer period. It's very weird. I know you probably can do that already, but I wasn't really able to do that. Like past like 12, 1 o'clock, I had trouble staying up at night. I got really tired. Another thing is I have longer sleep now. Now, aside from the con where I was sleeping like 8 hours and then 2 hours in a day, I'm not doing that anymore, but I don't have sleepless nights anymore. The restless nights gone. I think that was one of the biggest wins for me, because I hate sleepless nights. I'll have cold sweats sometimes, sleepless nights. I wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m. Like, I don't know why. I just kept like waking up. Like my sleep cycle was all the way messed up. But now when I go to sleep, I don't wake up to the next morning. Like literally, I don't. And I feel energized. When I wake up, I feel energized. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. Like, it's great. And I don't think I would trade that for coffee, because sleepless nights are freaking terrible. I hate them. My groggy mornings are gone. Okay, so the groggy morning thing was just ugh. And then the last part is I have my own motivation back. And I think that's the biggest thing. I don't have to go get a cup of coffee. This is water, by the way. Yeah, so you can see. I don't have to go and get a cup of coffee to get energized in the morning anymore. I don't need coffee to energize my workouts. Like, I'm energizing my workouts. I'm energizing my creative efforts. I'm energizing me doing this video. Like, everything I do is motivation that's coming from within me and not a stimulant, okay? So, I hope this kind of helps give you some insight on coffee. Let me know what coffee is doing to you. Do you like coffee? Do you feel like you can't let it go? And if you can't, think about why. Talk to me like, why can't you let it go? Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.